Hello and welcome back to Galactic Goddess Podcast. Today I have a very special guest, multi-dimensional healer and coach, and just an incredible woman that I've known for a long time. She's also an author, Stasia Bliss.
Thank you so much, Radha. Such a pleasure to be here with you. I'm honored. Thank you for asking.
Yes, and I'd love for you to just share just a little bit more about what you do for people that may have not known you.
Okay. Well, I've been doing empowerment coaching for many years, which, ranges through everything from shifts in our physical body to mental belief patterns, all the way up to the cosmic codes and the DNA that's coming in. So, whatever's going on with people, I'm basically help move them through their transformation process or stand to help facilitate that in the most supported way possible. So I feel like I grab from a lot of different tools and we just go on our individual journeys together.
And just have a whole bunch of fun. I love that. And today we're going to do our cosmic updates. Dun, 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 dun. What is going on?
I love this. Well, it's interesting, to be able to tune in a little bit more to what's happening in the wholeness and look at not only what's happening in my own body, but be able to use that as the microcosmic sort of lens to look at the cosmos, and then also seeing, okay, how is this reflected in everybody else, and get a sort of summation of what's going on. So that's what I feel like my consciousness is always doing, is like scanning everything and piecing everything together.
It's like you're an alchemist, like bringing it all together. Like, I know, because everyone's got questions like, what is this energy? What am I feeling? My hormones feel off. I mean, there's so many different symptoms that are coming up for me. I went through an ascension wave on the first of the month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't even talk. I'm like, oh, it was so big, you guys. It was so cosmic. And I literally felt like the air go through me, and it was beautiful, but it was also a little scary. You know what I mean? Both.
Sure. I feel like we really did a brush with death sort of feeling in this last wave, because we're all having to come to a place where we're releasing all the things that no longer serve us, right? So it's like going right up to that death gate and releasing those old patterns. And, even the seasons reflect that. Right now, we're right at the edge of winter. We're right at the edge of that dark cycle, right as we're about to turn towards spring, and we're coming to the spring equinox in just a couple of weeks. We're in that final birth-canal space of birthing. And I really feel like consciousness and the ascension process we're in is like neck and neck with the seasons right now. Like, it's used the cyclical cycle of the seasons to help sync us up. And now it's like, just look at nature. Like, that's what's happening to you. Right now, we're getting to the end of this dark cycle and all of these things we've experienced in the underworld of our existence. And so right before the flowers are going to push out, and I'm having, the same thing in me that I'm hearing in all my clients, like, but my body aches, like, am I getting old? Like, I'm having hot flashes, like, what's going on? And it's like, we are getting in this big push of birth for all of us. We're all birthing a new self that's more like cosmically attuned, that's more aware of our multiplicity, multidimensionality. That's like right before we get like the, like we're branch or whatever. Where we have like remembrance of way back in that part of evolution or something.
It felt so weird, but I've been through that experience before. And so I'm familiar with it, but it doesn't make it any easier. I was just telling myself, like, listen. I'm like, listen, this is going to pass. It's not like a panic attack, because I know what a panic attack is. You know what I mean? I used to have them a lot when I had breast implants, so I know what they are. But this is like pulsing waves going through you, like, and like, even when I was walking, I went down to the beach and I was walking all the way back, and my feet were feeling like funny. I was like, I feel like I'm high as a kite, and I'm so sober. All I had was a latte. I mean,
I love that you said that, because this is a very similar feeling also to like if you're just about to come onto psychedelics, like that you are shifting realities.
Yeah, it was like
You have to
dimensionally.
adjust, yes, you have to adjust dimensionally to what this is going to feel like to be in this different dimension. So thank you for taking that to another dimensional leap. So it is what plants experienced right before. Like it's also what we do when we shift our consciousness. And now it's not just for a spell of like this drug or whatever. It's now like reality doing
this is like, it's like stepping, like kind of like stepping in between worlds. That's exactly what I felt like. I was walking kind of like this, and I was like, I don't even know if I can walk, but I feel like I'm stepping between worlds right now. And I was like, is anyone else feeling like this? Yeah, I felt like a psychedelic. And I'm like, I don't do psychedelics because I don't need them. Like, I mean, I tune into the galactic waves, and I mean, I get activated. So
totally,
you know, I mean, and I think psychedelics are very cool, and they can be very helpful in the right circumstances.
I think they were preparing us for this time. Like, I think they've all been showing us this time.
They've been showing now a preview.
Yeah, a preview. Like, this is coming. Get ready. You know.
I'm like, I am not prepared for this. No, I didn't think I was prepared. And on that day, I had like so many things to do. I had a photo shoot in LA. I had an interview, and I was like, I don't even know how I'm gonna do this. But it was like pulling those polar energies together. Like, I just want to trip out on my own, and I have responsibilities. So I'm going to make this happen, you know, and it did work out, but it was very, very sketchy.
So what you just did right there, it's like you are integrating worlds. Like we're not dumping everything from the old world. Like some stuff is coming. We're just like releasing what isn't going to support the belief structures, basically. Like I feel like we talked about this before, that we're in a little bit of like a belief detox right now. And it feels like a little bit of a war zone sometimes in the mind, because, you know, where war used to be about like a physical fighting and over land, now it's like the paradigm it's
here.
Like it's fighting for which one's going to take hold in your consciousness, right?
This is so true. I'd like to just like focus in on that, because that is articulated so perfectly about the time we're in. We used to have these wars that were violent and physical, and everyone would suffer in different ways. Maybe we wouldn't get rationed food, different things, you know, for different people, right? This is warfare on our consciousness, right? So we are in a place where we have to really align with what we believe in, right? I'm a believer in organic ascension. That's my belief. And we're going through a time where transhumanism is being pushed, and also the consciousness transference into AI very soon. It's already happening, but it's going to be in the market, you know, in the near future, you know, depending on when they put it out. And there's this big push for us to embrace robotics and become somewhat robotic ourselves, to put the chips in. And to me, that's losing all your sovereignty. That's like being in a sort of like an AI prison is what I would call it.
So here's where I feel like it is. It's like we are in this war on consciousness, but the war is happening every moment in every thought and belief that we have. So we're coming into an open sphere where it's literally like any possibility exists.
Yes.
So those who have been dictating the old paradigm also have an evolution that they want to present. Like that option is an option also. But for those of us who've been walking this path for a while, and we've seen all these different possibilities, and we've already started to construct in our minds what we really see it doing, what we really want to have as a more ideal kind of an existence, whatever you want to call it, the golden age, or all the terms that have been used for a you know, more cohesive structure. We get the opportunity in every moment to win the war of each and every thought that comes up. So it's like the thought comes up that's like, oh, well, this is happening on the news. Okay, so right now I'm going to choose if I take the blow or if I am the one on top in that particular move of thought. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you can decide, actually, that has nothing to do with the life that I'm going at.
Yeah.
So, son, you're on top. I'm relating this to jujitsu because my kids and I go practice,
beautiful.
and it's like, if they get the move, they're on top, and they have to be on top to be like, quote unquote, winning. But then if their opponent gets the next move and he's on top, like now they can have a submission, they might have to tap. So in our minds too, with every thought, we're either winning and on top and like maintaining the paradigm that we're creating, or we're on the bottom and at the mercy and still part way in someone else's, creation or someone else's.
Wow. No, that makes so much sense.
It's really like a moment to moment.
It is moment to moment. Every single thing we're like, do I want to give my energy to that? Do I want to recreate my thought in this moment? Because when I was going through that wave, I had to really, it was very moment to moment.
It's like surfing, right?
It was like surfing, yeah.
Every second.
Yeah, I could let myself go off into this, like, whoa, what's going on, and I'm just like, no, it's okay. I was like redirecting my thoughts to know that I'm safe. What I was experiencing. And so, that showed me so much, like how we have to rein in on our thoughts.
This is why I feel like it's so important for people to have other language that can spark ideas of how to do this, because it's almost like reality is only presented A and B. Are you going to go this way? You're going to go this way. And so it's either I'm sick or I'm not sick. Like if I'm not sick, then what am I? Am I just delusional, or am I, but if you have a whole bunch of other stories, well, maybe you are in an upgrade. Maybe you are sloughing off old patterns. Maybe this is the feeling that it feels like before the next really good thing comes in. Like if you start logging a whole bunch of possibilities that are in favor of your evolution.
Yes.
Right? Instead of toward decay and toward the, like destruction of your being. Because I feel like we're like in a death leap right now. It's like, are you going to stay with the old paradigm and go the death disease route because it's pending, your hormones could be taking you that way, or everything right now is turning toward the evolution of our species, which means everything right down to the cellular structure is becoming something next level.
Quantum leaping.
Too are looking similar to what somebody might have called menopause before. I'm not bunking menopause. Like I've praised the crone, like all the good stuff about wise woman. I'm not even saying we're not going to become that.
Yeah.
But what if we become that in an integrated way?
Yes.
What if we can meld the archetypal self into all in one instead of pieces? That just made me be like, woo! And like embody our greatness to the next level. Be aware of all that stuff simultaneously.
Oh gosh, I like that path. Yes, ma'am.
That just feels like full plate.
It feels right. It feels so right.
Whole dish.
Like I gotta. It's just like I do feel like there's abundance reigning on this earth, and it's for the taking. And it's not like, oh, I'm gonna take it or you. It's like it's for all of us. Those who are open to receive the blessings will, but it's a choice.
Here's the gift of this new moon that we're sitting in right now.
Yeah.
And I have to do a shout out for a sister. Her name, she's a friend of mine on Facebook. Her name is Christina Solaris. And she is for free for the next 42 days doing this daily Omega Codex thing, which is basically like a next level astrology where she's talking about things like constellations that are between constellations and starting to bring that information forward. And she said actually this new moon is in Sitaris, I want to say, which is all about reconsecrating yourself. So what I thinking is like, and feeling is this next couple of weeks before the spring equinox hits, it's actually, even if you didn't plant the seeds that you want to see blossom in the consciousness of your life, it's like you still have 2 weeks to do it. It's like you didn't miss the plant season. It's like, wait a minute, I can still right now switch as many belief structures over that I want to and reconsecrate my life to this vision that I have for myself and say, you know what, I am worth having it all. I am worth embodying my full God, goddess self essence.
Yes.
And seeing what that feels like. And
yeah.
all of us do it together.
Yeah. I mean, it's so much fun. I mean, because there's momentum behind many people coming together for a higher purpose. That feels good. That it just feels right. Like, I feel like a lot of us are on the edge and we're going to take that leap. And that's how it feels like we're all lining up and we're like, okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Like, we've been preparing for this. You know?
And all planets are direct right now except for Mercury. And Mercury is going back into consecrate, which makes me think like he's going back for anyone else that got left out. Did anybody else, any other beliefs, any other people, any other family that still wants to make this leap right now? Because then when Mercury comes back direct on the 28th, it's like right after the spring equinox. And then there is again movement before other planets start, like the shuffle starts happening, the new dance that we're moving into the summer is next level of all of our realities if we choose.
Wow. I mean, it is an exciting time to be alive. I'm so grateful to be here now, right now, because this is the time. This is the time. This is a time in history. And you have to understand, guys, there are galactic beings from all over the multiverses. Everyone, this is the show. This is the show. Like, we are the stars of the show. And they're like going, okay, what are they going to do?
A great recommend if anyone wants like a cosmic download of sort of what's playing out. I've been watching on Netflix, Troy, Fall of a City. And it's Troy. So it's the mythological story of the city of Troy who basically was transformed through the power of love is my summation of the story, but not transformed like maybe anybody wanted, right? The city fell, but it's a great metaphor for what's happening in our minds, that there is this siege coming in and there is this reclaiming kind of happening. And it's great to look at those older medieval stories and watch war physically, because it really it does something to your consciousness. I always feel like it's giving me like the information, how this is applicable now too. And it's so applicable, like also watching everyone be in their power the way that they are in those times. People that are on the front lines, just fearlessly running into the sword, being like, well, I'm either going to make it or I'm not, but I'm going to run in. I'm on the front line, And right now, those of us on the front line are like, okay, well, I'm just fearlessly doing this. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm doing. This is how I'm aligning. And I'm either going to make it through this path and it's going to be this way, or I die. Like either way, Either way, we're making reality shift.
Either way, there's a reality shift, because it doesn't,
right?
I believe in the timelessness of our beings, no matter what, anyways. Like, we are timeless. I know that. I know I've lived before and I know I've lived after and in between. Like, there is no end or beginning to us. So there's no losing either. And we've waited so long for this moment that we can't wait and hide out and play small and pretend like this isn't happening, because that's when you get more sick. That's when you get more exhausted, fatigued. Like, the energy comes, you guys, when you are going with the cosmic flow, like going with the flow, because there's huge momentum and it's not going to stop. The winds of change are here. They're coming and they're flowing, and there's no stopping this. Nothing in the universe.
And we just got dropped into like the most cosmic, like, adventure ride of existence. And we're just like in the caves of the cavern and like all these crazy twists. And then there's these moments of just like splashing out into this beautiful pool or something. It's like, that's what it feels like we're on this ride, like you wouldn't be in the ride being like, let me out of this ride sucks, I can't see, like, ow, that corner just hurt me. Like, you're doing all this thing all the way down, and then you're like, man, I missed the ride, you
don't want to miss this ride. This is a ride of a lifetime, and it's an honor to be here. And I think I want to say that again, like, there are so many beings that want to incarnate right now. There's a lineup around this universe, and
for sure.
This is a once in a once in a ever lifetime experience. Like this happens once. I don't think it's ever happened this way that it's happening now.
I agree.
We're in a bit of an experiment, but the experiment has a momentum behind it, and it has a direction that it's going, regardless of like it's already happened, and it's happening, and it's timeless, and we are existing in that motion of it happening. And I want to be on that trajectory, because that's going to be the joyride.
And to be just like, I feel like such an honor to be here. Like,
Yes.
I you know what I mean? Just this grace of, wow, the multi-textural and you know, emotional pool of experiences and all these things that are here for us. Just start learning to really appreciate every texture.
Yes.
You know, if someone's willing to go into an emotion big in front of you, like, wow, like this hardly ever happens. Like, this is happening. Like, this person's going there. I'm going to be with them in that expression right now. And then I'm going to feel what I feel. And like, wow, we just get to like pulse off each other and feel what it feels to be alive, like an organism, you know, that agrees with itself.
I love that. Agreeing to be alive. Like, you know, that's powerful, because how much of our life have we tried to numb out and be dead inside? Like, I don't feel so I can survive this life. And now it's like, we don't have to be dead to survive this life. This is actually calling for us to feel our true feelings. Take off the mask. This is freedom. This is sovereignty. This is a new realm that we're stepping into, and it's somewhat known and somewhat unknown, and there's a great mystery behind it, and we can be in awe about it. And like any adventure.
Yeah, at the same time, it's also like familiar, because it's really just an evolution of what we already know. We're just going to apply it different. You know, like I think about how we've had positive and negative emotions, but now I feel like they want to spread out like a palette of paint in front of us. And we're like, okay, we're going to paint with our palette. And some of us have a little bit more of other colors than each other. So someone's maybe a little more like this color, and someone's a little more this color. And we get to just appreciate the different ways that we each use our palette of colors. That is our human emotion, you know?
I love that.
Yeah, so we get to move into a more creative realm together.
Yeah, that's I've definitely thought of it like that before. Like, we're through this process, we've picked up so many more colors, and then we get to create more richer, deeper experiences. We get to paint our life more beautifully.
Absolutely. I mean, we wouldn't really want any emotions to disappear. Like, is there really any emotions that we're like, I wish that emotion just never existed and was never ever here? You know, it's like, it does add like a texture, you know, maybe gray you paint with less sometimes, but it's just like, it's useful to inspire a painting sometimes, you know, like sometimes we got to go there to become what's next.
That's so true. It's so true.
Touch your rage to feel your power, you know?
Yeah, feel it to heal it, you know, and heal it to also create, feel it to create. We're the creators, we're the artists, we're the architects of our destiny. But there are foundations that are supporting us and being simultaneously coming, like, I just feel like it's just like, it's like building itself, but we are walking, as we walk into it, it's like building, appearing. It's a very auspicious moment.
To mention, oh, totally. I just wanted to mention a little more how I feel this masculine, feminine. Are you all with Tantra and like the Shiva Shakti archetype? I bet you are. So in Tantra, Shiva and Shakti, Shiva is consciousness, right? And Shakti is energy. She's actually form. But have you ever thought about and noticed that in our physical bodies, we really looked at the feminine as this intuitive vessel, this receptive pot, and the masculine as this dynamic action, right? That's how we learn in like yoga philosophy and right brain, left brain. But so that's actually opposite of the cosmic archetype. So you have Shiva being the vessel and Shakti being the energy. And then in the earth plane, they switch places. And I believe that's because we've been living in a mirror. We've been living in an opposite version, so that when everything stepped down from spiritual planes to this plane, it reversed. So as we shatter the illusion and we realize, wait a minute, I'm not either masculine or feminine. I am like a God being. You come into present moment awareness, 0 point existence, and you now those two parts of you merge, the masculine, feminine, the way we've known them, and they spread out again, like our, like you see the deities holding their flowers and their tools. It's like they become the allies, the instruments of us in our God selves. So now masculine is our consciousness. Every single one of us is Shiva. And Shakti is our energy, our creation, our body, like our very essence and form that we're in the world. That's every single person is Shakti, not just the women. Like every person is Shakti with a Shiva consciousness. Yes. So then we become like the God beings with each other, and we're no longer in this reversal. We're in real time.
Yeah, I love that we're waking up in the real time, and we're putting things back in order.
Right. And everything that was this way is now this way. It's like I literally even had this thought today. Are the weeks changing so that there's 5 rest days and 2 work days? Because that's kind of how I'm feeling it's going on. Like we're gonna have a weekend that's 5 days.
Yes, I mean, I think that's the way it should be. Absolutely. Definitely. That's where we're going.
Because you need like creation time and nurturing time and play time before you like can actually make anything happen. Like
so true.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, exciting time. And those moments of like doubt or like what's going on, or waves of energy coming through where you feel like, you're like, whoa, am I here? Am I there? I think
it's like the static on the radio, right?
Yeah. We're stepping into a place of knowing, like we have to just know that
we're just in between. Just let yourself drop into the know.
Yeah. And it's a beautiful process. Although, I mean, I'm not going to lie. Like it is like, there are feelings, there are emotions, there's.
Girl, I had the worst day yesterday. I just felt like shit all day in bed and just like my whole body was congested. I knew I'm just shedding all of that old paradigm. Like I'm literally just sloughing it. And I was just juice and tea all day, a little bit of chocolate, juice and tea, just
chalky.
Sleep.
That's right. Gotta have a little bit of chocolate.
Yes. Consciousness food,
Exactly. Wow. But that's why it's so good to come together and talk about these things, because we can put the puzzle pieces together, the clues, like we are, I feel like we are the synopsises that are coming together.
Yes, I love that.
Is a synopsis, and we're rebuilding the neuron pathways that are divine, right? We're recreating.
We are. I love that. That's awesome.
But so I'd like to know, if you have any last thoughts before we say goodbye. What would you like to leave people with?
Just as we're approaching the spring equinox, to not only allow yourself the clear out time, but it's a great time with Mercury retrograding to go, okay, is there anything that I'm neglecting that I do want to come forward, or that is saying it wants to come forward, or things that I really need to let go of that I've been resisting doing? Like now is sort of that decision moment. And sometimes we just have to let go of it in our body. Like we just have to let our body detox. Just be like, okay, take whatever you're taking. And then like the things.
Exactly. We got to detox and let go and release and allow this momentum to just like kind of going with the cosmic flow of it is, I think, what she's trying to say. We got stuck. Of course, it's Mercury retrograde, but you guys, with that, just thank you for joining us. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Stasia. We'll do another episode with her. We are going through such amazing times, guys. Stay positive. Know that if you're purging, it's just a release And keep opening to receive the blessings. They're in our field, they're here for you, and everything is coming in divine order and timing. I love you, and I thank you for joining. Also, if you want to be part of Awakening Starseed Stories Beyond the Stargate, we still have a few spots left, and we're happy to talk to you about it. So I'll put the link below. You can set up a call and see if it's right for you. If you're interested in being a published author in 2019, we are here to support you in our collective consciousness book. So much love. Mwah.